My name is Conor Walsh. I'm the Head of Athletic Development here at Belvedere College, and you guys are very welcome to our first installment of our nutrition tutorial videos. In this video, we'll be going through a lunchbox snack, protein balls made by 6th-year student Senan Coakley, followed by myself, who will be taking a recipe from Daniel Davey's book, Raise Your Game. Daniel Davey is a performance nutritionist with both Leinster Rugby and Dublin footballers. Hopefully you can get something from these recipes for yourself and for your family at home to give you options for both lunchbox snacks and a more substantial meal at lunchtime, or perhaps if you are doing the likes of an evening study. So hope you enjoy the video, and there will be many more to follow.
My name is Senan Coakley and I'm part of the nutrition program here in Belvedere, and today I'll be making energy balls. To start with, obviously wash my hands, all that stuff as well. To start with, we have 250 grams of porridge oats, 50 grams of dark chocolate chips. If you don't have dark chocolate chips, you can just break up dark chocolate bar like that or whatever. We have 50 grams of walnuts and 50 grams of pecan nuts. 2 tablespoons of honey and just 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. Both of them are just to bind together this stuff. So to start with, throw your pecans, walnuts and dark chocolate chips or dark chocolate bar broken up, whatever, into the food processor. There we go.
Yes.
Now, after about an hour. So after the blitz, you want to make sure there's still a bit of texture there. But there's you don't want to grind them up too much, because then they'll be like eating flour, like, so you want a bit of texture. You can see some of the walnuts, bit of dark chocolate chips and stuff. Pour that straight into your mixing bowl. Then throw in your 250 grams of oats. You're just storing that around, just mixing them together. They're only dry ingredients, so don't do too much about it, to be honest. You're just making sure that you can see a bit of everything of what you want in your, or in each bowl. After you do that, you want to throw your honey into the microwave for 20 seconds, not even. After you microwave it, your honey should look like that. It's a bit more liquidy than normal honey would be like. Throw that straight in. Grab the spatula just so that all the honey comes out of it. Tablespoon and whatever nut butter you want. Doesn't have to. It can be peanut butter, cashew butter, whatever you'd rather. It's just to stick the dry ingredients together. Probably 1 heaped tablespoon. I'll probably go for a little bit. So yeah. So when you have all your ingredients into a bowl, you're going to have to get your hands and just start mixing it yourself, and you'll feel it starting to come together. If it doesn't come together, either add another tablespoon of the peanut butter together, or you can just throw it in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and that'll help it sort of bind together. That's how you'd want that after just combining it for a while. You can see it sort of sticking together. Now it will fall apart like that, but see, if you pick her up and shape it like that, it'll stay in the shape of your hand. Now it's just about actually putting them in balls and putting them on the plates. So I just melted the rest of the dark chocolate that I had, just for the top of the protein balls. Just grab a small bit, not too big. Start clumping it together between your two hands. Eventually, it'll turn into a ball. Like that. Just dip the top of it in, I normally do. It's on the plate.
Hi guys, my name is Connor. I'm the head of athletic development here in Belvedere College. Today we're doing a nutrition video with some chicken pesto pasta. This one is accredited to Davey. He's the head of performance nutrition with both Leinster Rugby and Dublin GAA. A really simple meal, and we'll also get 4 portions out of it. So whether you want to use that through the school week for yourself, or you can dish it out at home to your family as well, hopefully this gives you a step-by-step guide to be able to get started with some home-cooked meals. First off, what we're going to need to do, after you've got some oil heating in the pan, on a nice low heat, try not to burn the house down, we've got onions and garlic. I've already peeled the skin off these, and I'm sure there's many ways. We'll just actually get this back going. The old saying, many ways to skin a cat, same with an onion. I'm no Michelin star chef. I just chop the tops off both ends. The way I do it, always put your fingers away, so you be careful not to chop them off. I slice down lengthwise, and then I come back across, and that gives me my onion nicely diced. White onion or red onion, personal preference, doesn't really matter. I actually prefer red, but we have a white one today. Fire's going to give me a heart attack now in a second. Alright, so got our onion diced, move on to the garlic next. There's loads of garlic there. 3 cloves is absolutely more than enough, but if you are like me and love garlic, I always throw 1 or 2 extra in. It's great flavour off it. We're going to chop these up over a medium heat, just let them fry for about 2 to 3 minutes. Or as a general rule of thumb, when that onion starts to go a little bit golden brown, you're good to go. Make sure we keep everything on the chopping board. And always just being careful with your fingers, guys, to make sure we have no casualties. Alright, so once we're ready to go with that, bring it over to our pot. So all you need for this to cook this meal, guys, is 1 pot. That's the beauty of it. It's really simple. Foolproof, some would say. Alright, so we scrape that in. Hold on, there's a big chunk of garlic there. Lovely. So we're going to scrape this into the pot now. That oil's been heating for about 2-3 minutes over a medium heat. The oil marks start going here, so apologies about that. Just stirring them around, trying to make sure they don't burn. When we get that lovely golden brown colour, we're ready to chop our chicken and throw it in. I've already diced my chicken over here. Same with when we're cooking our garlic and onion. Just be careful with the hands when we're dicing that chicken. 2 to 3 chicken fillets is absolutely fine, and just seasoned with a tablespoon of salt and pepper. Okay, I'm going to leave the onions and garlic on here. Probably slightly too high on this heat. They're starting to go golden brown already. Throw a little bit more oil in.
Like over and just zoom in on the yolk. Like over and zoom in on the onions too.
Yeah. Perfect. So we're going to get standing now just to zoom in on the onions. You can see now they are turning. You might get a bit of steam on the camera, but they're turning a golden brown colour. That gives us the green light to throw our chicken in. The chicken we're going to cook for 10 minutes, guys, but I'm making sure to keep it stirring all the way through, just to cook it through fully. So when that chicken goes in the pan, that's 7 minutes to 5 now. I'm just going to keep that stirring for 10 minutes. Alright. Just keeping it moving over that medium heat. Keeping the pot stays the same right the way through this meal. Right, guys, so that chicken's been cooking away there over a medium heat for about 10 minutes. While that was happening, we flicked the kettle on. Got about 600 to 700 millilitres of water in there. We're going to pour that into the pan with our chicken. After that, what we have going in is fresh spaghetti. That's very important that it's fresh pasta and not the dry pasta, otherwise it'll take longer to cook and it'll mess up the beauty of the dish. Alright, so pasta goes in with the water, and we want to try and submerge that pasta into the water as best we can, just to make sure it cooks through. That's going to be going in there for 5 minutes with our chicken. Alright, so it will become more creamy as the pasta absorbs some of that water. For the time being, just try to get it fully submerged. Break it up if it's in little balls like that, as the one we got out of the supermarket, and just mix it around. So 5 minutes, that goes in there. Again, just keep that pasta moving and make sure we stay over that medium heat. If we put the heat up too high, the water is going to evaporate. The pasta is just going to become hard. While that's cooking away, got my packet of spinach here. Usually a packet of spinach is about 200 grams. We're going to put all of that in. We've got some pesto. You can homemade pesto. This is one from Little Irish Made Pesto, and it's one of great taste called. Really good whole food ingredients in it as well. Happy pair to a great pesto, and in one of the future videos we will do a recipe for our own homemade pesto. Also, what we have then is 100 grams of grated white cheddar cheese. Personal preference really with the cheese as well, guys. If you want to go red cheddar, or if you want to go a block of cheese and grate it yourself, no bother at all. Alright, so 5 minutes on that. We took the pasta in at 5 past, so when we get to 10 past, we're going to come in with our spinach and pesto. You see that water drying up as well. We're looking for a nice creamy texture at the end. So you've got that range, 600 to about 700, 750 mils. You'll know by going on 5 odds. If you see it becoming really dry, just add a little bit more in. Better to add it in stages than throw a load in and then be worrying that you've overshot the ball. Alright. So we're going to just start adding the spinach in slowly, bit by bit. When a bit becomes wilted down, I'll start adding the next bit in. Again, just stirring it around, pouring with everything in this dish just to keep everything that's in the pot moving. Alright. So you see what I mean? Just bring that counter over there, Sam. So that first handful of spinach has started to wilt down, giving me a bit of room on my pot just to add some more in. Rather than throwing it all in at once, you'll have spinach going everywhere. Right, so the steam from the water boiling, everything, the heat, it's just going to wilt that spinach down. By the end of it, we want to have our full packet in there. Perfect. Super. And take it back to the wide view there now. So we'll get the last of our spinach in. Got another 2 or 3 minutes, and then the pesto is going to be going in as well. The beauty of this dish, guys, is that it's all in one pot, and you've been cooking now for 15 minutes, and we've only got another 7 left. So, and then I suppose the return you get off it, 4 good, healthy, sizable portions. To, as I said, for your own belly for a few days, or if you want to be kind and share it out at home, not a bad option either. That's our last bit of spinach in there wilting. We're just coming up to 10 past, so I'm going to dish in the pesto now. With the pesto as well, again, personal preference. It's good to be able to have the options and have a bit of variety. Sun-dried tomato pesto or a red pesto, what you might have heard as well. Also a great option with this. Today we've got the basil pesto or the green pesto, whatever you prefer to call it. Usually come in tubs of about 180-200 grams. Just mix it around, make sure the oil's all fully mixed in. Sometimes when you get it in a packet out of the supermarket, you will get that oil separation where it comes to the top. After that, we're just going to spoon in half of the tub of pesto. Alright, so about 100 grams of pesto, absolutely perfect. Mixing it right through. So the last thing we've got to go in now is the cheese, which is hopefully going to give us a lovely creamy texture. You might have overshot the ball here on water, but it's no major stress. Try and keep your chicken in the pan. Falling all over the place here. Alright, so we've got our pesto mixed in now. We're going to add in that 100 gram of cheese. Just mix it right round, make sure it fully melts through. And that'll just give a lovely creamier texture to the whole dish. After we have that cheese in, we're just going to cook everything through for a further 5 minutes, and then we're ready to plate up or bowl up, however you like your pasta. And then again, it's down to personal preference with it. I don't know how many times I've cooked this dish, but this one is probably a little bit more watery than what I'd usually like it. Again, it's like porridge. Some people like it creamy, some people like it runnier, and some people like it nearly rock solid. So that's completely up to you. How you would judge that is just by the water. You go to that lower end of the range, so less water if you prefer a much creamier texture. And then we can add in a little bit more if you prefer it to be a little bit more runny. Now we can see here, thankfully, just getting worried there for a second. Just bring that back over, and this is turning into a lovely creamy texture. Spinach mixed in, pesto mixed in. You can try smell it through the camera, but you won't have much success. Just trust me when I tell you it smells pretty good. All in the one pot. We've got about 2 minutes of stirring left, and then we're good to go.